So that's as far as like I didn't watch like the actual inauguration, so I didn't see like all the performances or whatever. But I was researching
J Lo.
the executive orders, and the executive orders are what I was really paying attention to.
Mm,
So
okay.
I think we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah. Okay. So on that topic, I had one executive order because one thing I've been seeing throughout social media during the week is the kind of the negative aspects of Biden signing some executive orders. So, for instance, there's a pipeline that was being built between Canada and United States. I don't know if you heard
Right.
about this or if you've
Yeah.
seen the executive
Keystone.
order.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Keystone XL pipeline.
yeah. So the Keystone XL pipeline was being built, and Biden signed an executive order that would end the building for that pipeline. And I think the reason behind that is really for climate change, which was written in an executive order based on what I read. So we're stopping
Hmm.
this so we won't increase the rate of climate change. There's people that don't believe in climate change. There's some people that do, and then there's people that believe it does happen, but human beings aren't a direct factor to it increasing in speed. Um, so for the people that ended up losing their jobs for that, I feel for those people. Like there's some like 11,000 people that have lost their jobs because the pipeline has ceased being
Right.
built. Um, and that's hurting a lot of people. And it's
Right.
like, is that necessarily the right thing to do to take away the livelihoods of these specific people that are working on the pipeline? Like they have families, they're trying to make
Right.
ends meet and all that stuff. We don't know where the situation was prior to the pipeline being built. Like maybe they just got back on their feet. It has been a process being built for a while, but there might have added some more people that just got into a new job and they're trying to get back on their feet again. So there's all these different types of people that could be affected negatively, and I'm curious if we can like see the other side and focus on that and focus
Yeah.
on this side as well.
Yeah.
Because like I don't
Well.
I haven't been paying too much attention to the news. Like I don't know if CNN is covering
Right.
this at all.
Right.
I know Fox News is probably covering this because
Fox News is going ham on it right now.
yeah, which like I understand like it's something that should be covered. Like it is affecting some body of people in a negative way.
Yeah. So I do agree with you in the sense that I do feel for those people who are being affected by uh, the uh, the halting of this project, and I do think that this is kind of again going back to performative politics. I think that climate change is very real. It's a very real issue, and it's something that the previous administration was just kind of ignoring altogether. We pulled out of a lot of we cut funding on a lot of programs to protect the environment. Um, and I think that while these issues are legitimate issues that do need to be addressed, it's also kind of performative politics, and it kind of tugs at uh, it's emotional for the people who probably voted for Biden. I would
Hmm.
say. Um, so on that side of things, it's whatever. But on the flip side, like I do feel for these people who lost their jobs. But the thing is, it's like this pipeline has been being built, and
Like for
also,
years, yeah.
yeah, it's also been affecting indigenous people on groups of Native Americans cutting through their land, and there's been all types of protests, and I mean I know you've probably seen the pictures and footage of like people being like tear gassed and whatnot. So there's like a whole other side of people on the other side of this who are just trying to exist
Right.
that have been directly negatively affected by the construction of this pipeline. So will it uh, take away jobs from the people who are building it? Yes, but I mean, we won't be tearing down the property and homes of people who were just trying to exist peacefully that are quote unquote in the way.
Right.
Uh, so And like honestly, like if all these executive orders come through and come down successfully, then and we can kind of contain COVID and get back on a good track economically, then we'll see job creation.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We'll see more places start hiring. We'll see the amount of business different companies and establishments are doing
Hmm.
start to go back up, and we'll see more job creation. We'll see more jobs open up. So like it's unfortunate, but at the same time,
It could open up a lot of new opportunities within pretty much the same industry, same field, and everything. So yeah, I
right,
definitely agree with you on that because that's something I've discussed a lot with my dad, or he's discussed with me at least. Um, there's a bunch of infrastructure stuff that will eventually have to happen based on one, roads and bridges are pretty old right now, and so there's always a time to fix those things. And then on top of that, with the booming electric vehicle industry that's coming up, and then there's going to be other clean energies being used for vehicles, and so we're going to
right.
have
So
stuff in place to actually fuel those vehicles because
right,
right now it's not really there.
yeah, I got you. But there's definitely, in terms of like research and development and like just engineering and planning and all that type of stuff, there are definitely benefits of taking the time to do the research and uh, the preservation of the environment
Hmm.
and research in climate change. And there are jobs in those fields. So we just have to invest in that because investing in that type of research will also create jobs.
Yeah, but
So
how
I
would you
mean,
get those jobs? You gotta go to college for that stuff all the time.
well, I mean, they might not necessarily need people to go to college for building these electric cars or building solar panels or any of the other stuff. That's all you got to do is you got to have blueprints or instructions, manuals, and you either put people in a plant or like on an assembly line, or you put people to work building these solar panels, electric cars. Like these are things that need to be built. Like sure, maybe you need a higher education to be like an engineer or a designer of these types of things, but um, it's not rocket science from top to bottom. You know.
True. Yeah, I agree with that. But it's kind of hard to get people to actually see it from that perspective. So again, hopefully everything works out in the end. I know we're only like what 2 weeks, well, not even a week, not even a week into the new presidency and
Right.
stuff being changed and updated, eradicated, whatever way you want to look at it. But
Right.
hopefully stuff works out in the end. Um, I'm confident it will, but there's always going to be some opposition to that, which is respectable. Most of the time, it's respectable, but there's times that it isn't as chill. Um, okay.